Hello, loyal fan base that is mostly made of my friends and family. Today, I'm telling a story. I thought I would come back. It's been a couple months. I already filmed this video one time, and the ratio of things that related to the story I was supposed to be telling versus completely not related was like 80 to 20. So I'm gonna try and focus for a second in this video. While we're on the topic of my story, I have some soup, and I'll be eating that. Usually I have tea when I emerge back on YouTube. Today I'm eating soup because my tummy hurts. I know why you're here today. Maybe it's because you love me and you missed me so much, and if that's the case, the feelings are so mutual. If the reason you're here today is because you want to hear about Justin Timberlake sending me into a possibly trauma-induced seizure, then you're in luck. I'd like to say this is not Justin's fault. I'm not blaming Justin, but I would like to slip into something a bit more comfortable. So, where do I begin? This all begins, I'd say, like 7th to 8th grade, okay? I had a lot of spinal problems. I had a lot of reasons to have MRIs. This information is crucial as it lays the base for the trauma. So, I had a lot of spinal issues, and so I had to get a lot of scans. And the scans were not very forgiving. They were about 2 to 3 hours long, maybe, most of the time. And they were full body, well, not full body, like head to pelvis, maybe lower? That was the area that was being MRI'd, imaged. I used to get MRIs all the time. Usually I would have the help of complete sedation, or I would have the help of heavy drugs prescribed. I had to get these MRIs twice a year. And if you've ever had an MRI, it's the most, I would say, one of the maybe worst experiences if you have them for long periods of time, especially on your head or your body. If it's just like a limb or like something, you can watch a movie while you're getting the scan, which makes it a little bit more bearable. Or you can listen to music on these like shitty little headphones, which they're doing their best, and it works to a degree, and it does soften the anguish of an MRI. It's not that bad, but also, is my assessment of an MRI that good if I'm sedated completely most of the time for them? The times I've been awake, I can tell you, it's a small tube. You're in a tube. It's like this tube. They put you in it, okay? I lay flat on my back and they slide me into the tube, locked down also. My limbs are strapped down. And then this loud screeching beep and other loud sounds start happening. It sounds like you're like inside of a broken, very loud fax machine or whatever, copy machine. Large contraption that makes very loud sounds. I'm laying the base. I need y'all to get this picture. It was really horrible, and maybe I'm trying to justify the things I'm going to say because they could have been a bit dramatic, but also they were against my will. I got a little piece of lentil in at the top of my mouth. Ugh. So, where was I? Oh, describing the horrors of an MRI. This time around, I decided, the specific time I'm talking about, I was like, I'm gonna try and do this without being completely sedated, because being sedated a bunch of times isn't really good for you. It's not what doctors aim to have happen every time. So I get medicine to, help me not move, because you can't move. If you move, the MRI has to start over pretty much. I get this medicine, they strap me in, I'm going into the MRI, right? All is decently kind of well. I have the headphones on, the shitty little headphones, and they're playing Hits One songs. If you see me like looking into the air right here, kind of creating the image in front of me, this is the part in a show where it would like drift into a flashback, but I don't think I could do that. I could try. There I am, laying in the tube. Right? And the only thing you can see, you have to get this image, is a bunch of tube. It's like a plastic around you. But I could look up, and there was a mirror where I could see the room. I could look into the mirror and I could see the room kind of like in front of the machine where it had a doctor and my mom, and it was a screen, okay? You have to get this image. You have to live it. You have to live through this with me. I have to share this trauma. Maybe I don't. Maybe I need to heal. I'm healing. This is me coping right now, telling this story. I am over it too. So I'm laying in this machine. About 30 minutes in, it's getting pretty unbearable. The songs, I didn't realize, I didn't think this through before I went in. The songs are the songs that are on the radio all the time and get overplayed and are just like, they lose their brilliance, I guess, in the overplayedness of them. Keep in mind, this is like 2016. So I'm pretty sure like Uptown Funk played a couple times, which it's a good song. It's just, you know, it's just, you want to turn it off. And I did not have the option to turn it off or to do anything but lay there and be strapped down. So I'm looking at my mom in this room and she's just like, you know, I'm pretty sure they can see my eyes or like this part of my face. The doctor's doing his thing. I can kind of hear the music. It's like, it's a little bit muffled because, I mean, the headphones aren't great. Also, there's this loud screeching, beeping happening and machine sounds. My back is starting to hurt. My whole body's starting to hurt. I'm getting a bit claustrophobic. The situation is just not, it's not good. It was not, you know, I wouldn't relive it again. I wouldn't want someone else to, even though they do every day. Shout out to the people that do MRIs all the time. You're really strong. You're a warrior. Quick stop in my story. MRIs are tough, and if you do them regularly, that's pretty impressive. It's getting bad, and I'm starting to get really antsy, and I'm starting to get like really aggravated and agitated even. You know, I can't help it, but I have to cry. So I start crying a bit, but not too much, because if I start crying in the way that I would want to, my shoulders would move, I would be heaving, I would be thrashing everywhere, I would be punching the walls of the tube. But I couldn't really do that because I was, one, strapped down, and two, I wanted the doctor to get the images. You know, it's important to get those images, so I couldn't really cause the scene I felt like causing. The turning point of this story, where it went from bad to the worst, where it went from worst to the worst, actually, Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake comes on those little headphones, and look, it's not that bad of a song. You know, it's actually, I would argue, a good song. It's just unbearable when, first of all, it plays every day, all day, on every radio station, everywhere, in every store. At this time, it was like, what, 2016? It's like, okay, so this story takes place in around 2016. If you remember that, Can't Stop the Feeling was on everywhere. Like, you would change the station and it would be changed to the same song, which was Can't Stop the Feeling by fucking Justin Timberlake. And look, okay, maybe I haven't healed. I'm sorry, Justin. It's not you. It's me, I think. Oh, do y'all like these micro... Look, I cut my hair also the other day, and now I kind of have, like, curly micro bangs. Like, back to the story. I already had disdain for this song because it played so often, and it was just too, like, happy and bouncy for me. Call me insufferable. Call me just the worst. I agree. Call me bitter and angry and hateful, because that's what I am and was, and I'm okay with it. I've come to terms that this happy little song used to cause such rage inside of me. I think it was just, I don't know. It was a hard time. It was a bad time. This song comes on, and I was like, I am on a thin line here. I am walking on ice. I am gonna explode at any second. Because then I did start crying, and my shoulders started moving a little bit, and for some reason, so I start like crying and kind of moving my face a little bit. My shoulders start moving a little bit. It's like a full body movement cry. You know those ones? I look in the mirror, and my mom is like laughing and like doing this. I come to find out, she thought I was laughing. It gets worse. Could it get worse? Yes, because it does. The song replays. It plays twice in a row, and it just set me over the edge, and I started crying, and I started squeezing the button, and I was like, no, get me out of here. I can't do this. I cannot do this. I can't do this. I couldn't do it. I could not do that now. If I was sitting in a room and it played twice, I would be like, stop, please turn it off, but I didn't have that option. Oh my God, I was in the worst situation. I was in pain. Ew. Oh, it wasn't even the pain that sent me over the edge. It wasn't the loud ringing. It wasn't my mother laughing. It's okay. I know she didn't know that I was in horrible, I always think, did she think that I was laughing because the song, it made me happy and so she replayed it? Or both of them? Did they conspire to do this to me? I don't know. I think I'm trying to find someone to blame, and it's okay. Sometimes there's not people to blame. Anyway, I got out the machine, they sedated me, and I I reclaimed that day though, because for the next like year, every time that song came on, I would turn it off. I would turn off the whole radio and put on my own music, right? Isn't that a good ending? And also, the next day we did the MRI again and I was sedated. And then I've been sedated every time since then. And it's been, what, like 5 years since that? I'm not good at math, please, I don't know. What, I'm a freshman in college now and that was when I was in 8th grade. 5 years, right? 4, 6. Give or take. All is going well until this one day, and this is where it gets serious. This is where, you know, this is where the juice comes into the story. This is where the meat gets, I was gonna say pounded. I'm thinking of Cooking Mama when there was that, like, you know, I don't know why I would use that analogy to describe this part in the story. This is the part where I seize. I'm hanging out with my friends. This is like freshman year, okay? A couple years later, actually I think that's one in between 8th and, I'm not good at these things, okay? Freshman year, me and my buddies are hanging out. I'm sitting in a chair, there's a couch, and there's another chair, alright? You have to get the picture. I'm in this one, my friend's in that one, and my other friend's in that one. We're talking, hanging out. There's a kitchen that way, alright? Are you getting the layout? Do you see the layout right now? Kitchen that way, I'm right here, other friend is there, I'm on the couch. Mom, or not mine, but friend's mom is in the kitchen, washing dishes perhaps, fiddling around in the kitchen. There's an Alexa, you know, playing music. Do you see where this is going? I'm sitting there, we're all chilling, just having a good little time. All of a sudden, I hear that little piano in the cymbal, and it's too late. And then I hear the first couple words, and everything stops. Time stops. I am immediately sent back to the horrors of that fateful day. And I was like, turn it off. And I started screaming at my friends. I was like, turn it off, turn it off. Fuck. And I was like, turn it off, turn it off. And they were like, what the fuck? And I was like, the song, turn the fucking song off. And they were like, oh. And so the mom runs to the Alexa and is like, Alexa, turn it off, turn it off. And it wasn't turning off. And then I was like, turn it off, turn it off. Look, this is funnier, I think, now. It was funny then. I start wiggling, I start going crazy, and then next thing I know, I'm not in control anymore. And I start shaking and freaking out. And I'm like, no, and my friends are like, what the fuck? And I start seizing, like I start like going crazy and I wiggle out of my chair. I thought that was funny for a long time, but my friends never found that funny. I thought it was funny, the idea, look, the whole thing, the fact that I heard a song, started seizing and like seized out of my chair and laid on the ground, and then I was like, they turned the song off. They were like, it's off, it's off. And then a couple, like, I say like 20 seconds later, I stopped and I was like, what just happened? Did I have a seizure? And they were like, are you okay? What the fuck just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I think I seized. Anyway, so that's the time that I had a seizure. I do think it's kind of fantastic that Can't Stop the Feeling made me had a seizure. Come on. There's a little bit of hilarious irony in that. I think it's a good story. Anyway, yeah, doesn't happen to everyone, I guess. I think now I can cope properly. And I have made growth, because now I can hear that song and not seize. And not seize so hard that I wiggle out of my chair. I feel like wiggle, is that the wrong shake? Involuntarily bust it. Have a seizure. I don't have a seizure now when I hear that song. Actually, I've listened to it a couple times all the way through. I still prefer to turn it off though. Maybe from now on, the final piece to the cope, to the puzzle, to the finish, is that I cannot get sedated now. I like being sedated though, I'm not gonna lie. But that's not why I do it. It really is horrible. Oh, matter of fact, I just got like a sharp back pain. That was like something, that was like some part of my body making a reaction. It's like, don't you dare stop fucking getting sedated. It's great. Not actually. Anyway. Shout out to, Amy's vegetable lentil soup, by the way. Vegan, delicious, packs a punch, flavorful. There was a chickenless chicken noodle soup also by Amy's that is vegan and gluten-free, I believe. Oh, right, this is gluten. I hope the bang I intended, the bang. I hope this was a good video. Thanks for watching.